Good afternoon to you. Thank you for your company here on Lifestyle through until 3 o'clock. And we'd like to bring someone in the studio between 1 and 2. And today it is the turn of Hayden Rhodes, the General Manager of the RPM Health Club here in Phuket. I nearly said Dubai then. I nearly went Dubai in my head for some strange reason.
You're back there, huh?
Well,
you're dreaming of Dubai? Or would you rather
really
be here?
I think I'd rather be here.
Oh, good to hear.
That's the right answer.
Oh, that's the right answer, I think. Yeah.
I mean, yes, that's for another day. That I don't know why I was going to say Dubai, but you know, now RPM might actually open up in Dubai. Or you might get the gig there as well.
We've got offices all throughout Southeast Asia, so why not branch a little bit further?
And your little fellow will be growing up even more then as well. I saw him at the weekend with your wife. He has shot up so much, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's growing. Lovely little boy. He's growing very fast. Eats everything, I tell you.
It's like he's dead.
And you know what? He eats really good food. It's bizarre, you know. He'll be like going for olives and anchovy and fish and stuff like that. Yeah, cauliflower.
Got that from the missus then, not you?
No. I love all that stuff too. But my missus actually, she loves that stuff too. But he's doing really well. He's loving it, thriving here in Phuket.
He's musically minded as well, isn't he?
Musically inclined, yeah. He likes to jam. He likes to have a guitar and dance around the room, yeah.
Good stuff. Okay, we're not here to talk about his little lad, but I just thought I'd throw that in because he was at the weekend. I saw him. Good to have you in the studio again. Thank you for joining us. RPM Health Club. Very, very busy last few months because I remember when about 6 months ago you said, right, I'm revamping our website. I'm doing this. I'm doing that, amongst all the other things that have been going on.
Yeah,
so tell us a little bit more what's been going on there.
Yeah, no, down at the health club, we have been very busy. We've been revamping a little bit about our social networks. Obviously, the website we've been upgrading. We're doing a lot of imaging now, and we're trying to get a lot more members involved with comments, with feedback, with interaction, which is what social media is all about. Our membership has grown a lot since that time, so we're really happy with that. Yeah. We're approaching that 400 member mark.
Well done.
Since 6 months ago, it's progressed, and if you only have to go on to the if you go onto Facebook and just search RPM Health Club, straight away you can see that the images have changed. We've got images of the trainers, we've got images of the reception team. Whenever we make a notice for the general public about health and well-being, they're listed there. So it's more personalised now. It's got a personal touch to it, and the members like it as well. They feel that they're part of a big family, and that's what really what health and a health club I think should be about. Supporting people in a family type atmosphere.
Interesting what you've said there, because I'm a great believer. I mean, obviously working in radio for the amount of time that I've worked in radio, too long, some people say, I try and keep things simple. I mean, that's the way. The attention span of the brain is 45 seconds. If you're not interested, that's it. It's gone, right? So I'm a believer in this from a social media point of view, and looking at your Facebook site, really, it is very, very simple, but very straight to the point, isn't it? Yeah,
we've tried to create images that appeal to people and messages that are pretty direct, so that, social media, there's a lot of competition out there, and B, people's 45 seconds, you think?
It is 45 seconds.
I mean, that's quite long when you look at people with Facebook and things like that these days. It's, 2-3 seconds you've got to grab their attention, perhaps. Mm-hmm. We do put up some bold images, some motivational type statements, something that will make people look twice and comment on, especially regarding their own personal lifestyles. And, we've got a lot of followers that aren't members in the club, that followers overseas, and they enjoy that. We do put out images that make them perhaps think about their lifestyle, perhaps think about their own health, perhaps think about where they're going. Are they looking after themselves? Because, in this day and age, it's go, on, we try and get people to reflect that and perhaps come and see us down at the club, That's the goal at the end of the day.
Kun Joe always looks happy and smiley. He looks great on the Facebook pages and also on your website as well. Is he always like that?
He's pretty happy. I mean, he's a hard-working bloke, I tell you, but when you ask him to smile for a photo, he can turn it on, I tell you that much. He's a great instructor, a really great guy. I'm very proud of him. I met him 5 years ago when we first started building the club, and he was this shy, sort of smaller, just out of university, and he wanted to learn and he wanted to grow, and that's why I employed him. I said, listen, I'll take you on, and we got him internationally qualified, and now if you look at him, unbelievable the change that he's gone through, not only physically but mentally, emotionally. He has a huge client base now. He's well respected for teaching classes. And yeah, he's actually, funny enough, you bring that up. We're putting some new miniature billboards as you drive into Royal Phuket Marina, and he's going to be the face of one of them.
No.
So
yeah, that's it now.
So,
Ego's taking over.
Yeah, so he's going to be on one of them with some others, with members. We've got some other members that wanted to be up there too. So yeah, we're trying to integrate the members and the staff, because like I said, it's like a family down there. And I was just sitting down before I came here with you. That I was nearly late to get here. I had two members that they didn't corner me. We just sort of sat down around the juice bar there, and they started talking about, what's this all about, wheat and gluten, and how does it affect your gut? And we start talking about estrogens and testosterone and how that affects energy and well-being, and not only sort of sexual health and energy for those guys that are a little bit older, but
what are you looking at me for?
Well, and that's what my role is there for. It's actually to help people really look at what's going on inside their body, as opposed to just diet and exercise, which, to be honest, can only help people so far.
Does that make RPM Health Club stand out a little bit more than the others then, do you think?
I think it does. I think we're definitely more, for a start, we're a little bit more boutiquey. You've been down there. It's 4 stories. It's very well laid out. We're managed by Sierra. We have the luxury of having them just down the road. So, whenever we want a completely new refurbished treadmill, it's $3-4 they'll wheel it in. But the other thing is that, I'm known, I'm leaving to go over to London soon. And
leaving?
Not Phuket, but as a paid holiday.
All right, okay.
But, I do have people around the world, and what I do is I look more at what's really going on inside the body. I use lab tests to do that, and I try to get to root causes. I'm not one of these people, like many people out there, that really just either treat lab results or just treat symptoms. And I think that's a big thing. That's a big difference. And a lot of our members down there, if they're really having serious health problems, they can come in and I can look at, be it saliva work or lab sample testing, stool samples, even blood work, and really find out what's going on underneath the skin. And that, I think, is completely unique and very, very beneficial to a lot of people that really are concerned about, their lifestyle and staying healthy and staying, sexually active. Let's put it that way. Once they get over the age of 45 or whatever it is.
All right, let's move on then, shall we? We're talking about doing up things like websites and also Facebook pages, and there's a guy going to be sorting out our building for me. So
it's not me.
It's not you. Okay, you can do everything else. You're pretty good at that probably as well.
No. I'll leave that to the experts.
Okay,
right?
then the experts.
Making a hole in the wall.
Exactly. So Hayden's in here from RPM Health Club this afternoon. Thank you for joining us, Hayden. You're going to be away for a while. You've already dropped a little bit of a hint about that. What are you going to get up to then?
I
mean, stuff you can talk about on the radio.
I definitely can talk about it on the radio. I mean, I've got some clients that I'm going to go and see over in London. They're part of the band. One of the members has been in the studio before. Nick, he put on a good show a few months back. So I'm going to go and see Nick. I'm going to go see, in particular, Brian and Steph. They're getting ready to get out of the studio. They've got a big photo shoot coming up for the next album launch.
Tell them who Brian and Steph are, just in case the uninitiated.
Okay, they're the lead singers of Placebo, which is a great band out of the UK. And they've taken a few years off to rejuvenate and put out some new music, and they've already been asked to headline a number of festivals next year.
Great.
So they've asked me to come back and see them over the summer before they, go do photo shoots and get back ready to tour. So I'm going to go over and see them. One of my projects being in London is to see them. I have a few other things that I'm there to do. And one of the things that I'm going to encourage them to endeavor to do over the next 21 days is some cleansing. Now, we spoke a little bit before about what we do at RPM Health Club, which is a little bit different for what other people do on the island. We're not about a short-term fix or just marketing a cleanse product for 5 days or a week or something like that.
So is cleansing one of the buzzwords of this year then?
I think it's a big thing, yes. I think it's one of those... I don't want to call it a buzzword, because it definitely has its benefits, and it's definitely been around for a long time. But I think there are some people that are just jumping on the bandwagon and offering something that's touted as something fantastic, but it might only be a very quick, short-term solution. There's more things that we can do on lifestyle. There's more things that we can do with our general well-being every single day that is going to have an effect on our liver, on our gallbladder, on our blood saliva, that it really does. It's going to take a lot longer than 10 days.
Right,
If you really want to do a cleanse, there's got to be some real change, and those real changes are, reality bites. It's a turd. It's hard to make change sometimes. So that's what I'm going to go and do with the guys over in London over the next couple of weeks.
So you're going to be a busy lad over there then as well. And how do you keep yourself motivated? Or let's turn it on its head then, shall we? We're talking a lot about here in Phuket. The wet months are here. Sometimes people look outside and think, oh, you know what? I can't be bothered going for that run because it's raining. I know it's nice and warm, the rain here. Or I can't be bothered doing this because it looks a bit dull outside and I might do this, I might do that. How can people be motivated at this time of the year in Phuket then?
Well, I think it comes down to what do you want to achieve really? What is it and where are you going? I do go back to that self-motivation as to, the dream. What's the dream? What are you wanting to do? Whether it's a fear that someone has passed away, or a fear that I'm moving on in years and I need to make some changes, which a lot of people get to some point and something happens, and whether it's cholesterol, whether it's a heart attack, whatever it is, they need to make that change, or whether it's a fear of not allowing that to happen, or else it's more along the lines of, find something that you like to do. I was speaking to someone yesterday, nice gentleman, came into the club. He wanted himself and his wife, they wanted to join. And he said straight up to me, he said, look, I've let myself go over the last few years. I'm very stressed. I've got a young daughter and I've got business. I don't have much time. He said, I know I need to do something, but I don't want to go running. I don't want to, I'm not a gym guy, and I think that's one of the things that we need to address is like you just said, I don't want to go for the run. So many people say that. Well, why? Because they don't like running. So don't run. That's the first thing. We've got to find things that people like to do. Mm-hmm. It might just be going for a stroll. It might be doing stretching. It might be doing yoga. It might be doing a swim. But we need to find things that people enjoy doing. If I said to you, right, what did your PE tell you to do when you were at school? Most of us, made us run around the field every time. So, we've got that subconscious or even conscious thought process that negates even stepping out the door in the first place. So I think we have to address that too. It's like, what's the motivation? What's the dream? Why are you doing it? And then also, well, let's do something that you want to do, let's do something that's actually enjoyable. Mm-hmm. And then you're going to do it, whether it's raining, whether it's hot, whether it's cold, it won't matter.
Okay, we'll talk a little bit more with Hayden here on Phuket's Live 89.5. If you want to have a little talk with him as well, you can, 076 612 895. Back with him shortly. Hey, I tell you what, we'd love one of those. Perfect World from Huey Lewis. In fact, no, I don't think we could actually have and enjoy a perfect world because there's no such thing as perfect, is there, Mr. Hayden?
Absolutely not, man. You got to have the ups and the downs, the highs, the lows, the yin, the yangs.
Because then life would be really, really boring then, I can tell you.
I was going to say, everyone strives for perfection, and there is no such thing, Have you must have heard that phrase, perfection and imperfection.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
And I think we need to actually embrace that. There's no such thing as perfection.
Yeah, I've learned that now. I used to be sort of very, very much, it's got to be like this, got to be 100% perfect. It doesn't work like that. Of course it doesn't. So we're talking about healthy foods, etc., and how to keep sort of healthy during the wet months. We've said about activity.
Green season, Steve. It's the green season.
Green season, yes. Yeah, well, I suppose it is the green season, but it's the wet months from a point of view where a lot of people might think about doing something a little bit different, because sometimes, obviously vice versa there, if it's too hot for them, they won't do it.
Yeah.
So this is a good opportunity.
Get outside at least.
And do that.
Yeah.
And sell that side of it. And eating healthy is very, very important as well, isn't it?
Number one. And I'll tell you why I say that, because I have so many people come in to see me. I run some lab tests and they've got something, I'm not kidding you, 18 to 20 food sensitivities.
Wow.
If you're eating something that you're addicted to that makes you feel good mentally and physically, but it is ruining your stomach, your intestine, your gut, well, you're going to feel bad for a long time to come. And diet is huge these days. And not just because of the amount of commercial foods that have been basically forced upon us by these places called supermarkets, but also, unfortunately, the chemicals that are sprayed on the crops, and that is, taken from the soil over the last few years. The nutrients just isn't in the soil, so it's very hard to get the nutrients that our bodies are designed for, and our minds, our brains require. So nutrients from food is a huge factor in today's lifestyle in terms of being healthy, being productive, being energetic, being happy. Neurotransmitters in the brain that make you feel good, that uplift you, well, they're made somewhere. They're made in the body. They're made generally by hormones, and those hormones are definitely affected by what's in our foods these days.
Energy levels, we've talked about this before as well. I mean, obviously from your point of view, and people come in, they probably say the same sort of thing in a different roundabout way. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
And energy levels is always one of the key things, and you say about moving, etc.
Yes.
But how do you deal with somebody who comes in who's basically doesn't want to know? And I know you've said this before, well, that's it, I don't want to know you. But for instance, they have low energy levels because they don't do anything in the first place. They don't do anything about what they're... And you can suss those people out quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain people that don't want to do anything, therefore nothing is going to change. The first thing is, you are what you think about. So if someone wants to change, and if they know they have low energy, quite often they'll go and see, let's say, a trainer or a doctor or a naturopath, whoever it is, and quite often the advice is, well, just move a little bit more and look after your nutrition. And, that is such shallow advice. Quite often these people don't have the energy to move in the first place. Quite often they don't even have enough energy to go down the aisle on the opposite row in the supermarket where the good food is, because they're just used to buying the same stuff, and they just haven't got the energy or the willpower to get out of the rut of the habits that they're already in. So I think that's where we need to start.
But that also comes with daily life as well.
Sure.
If you're working in a job from 8:30 till 6 p.m. at night, your lunch hour is that hour.
Yep.
You go and eat the same kind of thing because you can get it in that hour. And there are certain things to do. So, I mean, the secret is to try and change it.
It is. It does come down to change. I mean, I run these lab tests, and I run a lot of these reports, and I work with all sorts of people from all walks of life. But at the end of the day, it just comes back down to, lifestyle choices. And we were speaking off air for those listeners out there, and we were talking about the lifestyle choices that you make early on as opposed to later in life, 35, 40, 45, 50. The longer that you've had a bad habit, let's call it, the harder it is to change it. It's been inground in your physiology, in your psychology. So, those are very real issues that I think we need to address. And it comes back to the statement that I was talking about before. What's going in the tank? What are you fueling the body in the first place? Because it takes energy to change, right? It also takes energy to create energy. So this is where movement comes in, and you do need to move. The doctor or the trainer that says, come and train with me, generally will be overtraining someone and draining energy. We need to look at movement as a form of medicine, as a form of therapy. It might, like I mentioned, just going for a walk, just breathing properly. That's one thing that can create good energy in the body. And that will then lead to a physical change in one's life, because you've got that energy to make the change. Very interesting subject. Very hugely interesting, both from a psychological perspective and also a physiological perspective.
And he's well equipped to know all about this, I can tell you. If you want to go down and say hello to him, please do at the RPM Health Club, and tell him that you listen to him on the radio. That'll make him feel even better as well. But as usual, it's always great to have you in the studio. So you're away now for a while. When will we see you back?
I'll be back in a couple of weeks. So I'm flying out this evening, actually. So I'll be in London tomorrow. I'll start working with the guys. We've got a couple of weeks, and I'll be back towards the end of the month. So I look forward to coming in and seeing you. And if anyone's out there wants to come and drop by, check out the website, rpmhealthclub.com, and my team will look after you when you go and see them at the club.
And they'll smile as well.
They'll smile and they'll remember your name.